Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Berlin for Game 2 between ROCCAT and Giants. And, well, ROCCAT, boys in blue right there, they picked a color that they can definitely relate to. It's blue side for them in Game 2.
Busy taking pictures between games. Shows
confidence.
Yeah, confidence, clearly. Obviously, this was before the game, but still.
Of course, which
could
is
have been
the magic
after.
of production, right?
Yeah, we were actually lying to all of you. This is not even live. Woo! It is.
Shh, it's not supposed to tell people, man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just forget the last couple seconds happened. Don't worry about it. We're getting into game number 2. Giants, it's rough for them because after 10 minutes they were looking on par for a lot of things, but then it just sort of started falling away because they couldn't execute those fights.
Yeah, again, that's the problem. I feel like the analyst desk was talking about how Giants maybe need to try and pick for more like late game team fighting and try and win that way. I think if you're Giants, the way you have had success in the past was full early game. Try and win laning phase, ganking jungler, or skirmish jungler at least, like Kha'Zix or something for Memento, where he can find the enemy jungler, kill him, pushing lanes. Like, I think you have to snowball early if you're Giants, because your mid to late game is just not strong enough to take down other teams right now. So I want to see more focus on pure early game, not rumble jungle. You need something, again, that can be more aggressive.
You might get your wish. We're going to pick some bans once again. So, I mean, let's see. You have the counter big potential on Giant side, but let's see how these bans go.
See,
That's
I
the
love this
ban
ban.
away.
I love this ban because this is the kind of jungler Giants normally have a lot of success with. So when you remove that, because yes, you can say that Rumble is a strong skirmish champion as well. Problem is he relies so much on his ulti, which has long cooldown early. Kha'Zix without an ulti can still assassinate people. So when Giants lose a jungler like this, it becomes harder and harder for Memento to have that impact early. We saw in the last game how important it is. Shen ban on 7-5, Shen has been banned in every single game so far in Europe. After Maokai nerfs and everything, Shen has really become one of the S tiers. He's been up there as a high tier pick for a while, but we've seen him banned in every single game, which is quite unusual for Shen.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And it's something that both of these top laners have been pretty well versed in because they're second most played champion after that Maokai, or has been for some time. And let's take a look at the other bans. The Graves is taken away again. The Cassiopeia now banned on ROCCAT's side.
So now the top 2 picks for Memento are gone. Again, I'm going to keep highlighting him because he's so important when it comes to the early snowball. He's not played Lee Sin yet. Elise's pick is only used once. And then we start looking at things like Rek'Sai, Iron. Not the kind of picks you need if you are Giants. You need early game, in my opinion. I think ROCCAT is a superior late game team. And I think they have shown that also in the last game where they were constantly reacting to some of the plays from Giants over and over. First pick anyway, we saw Malzahar first pick in the last one. Didn't really have a whole lot of effect, but ROCCAT will try their luck with the same.
All right, so that's locked in for what did this time. Do Giants do the opposite? Do they take the Kench for themselves? Obviously no Graves available. There's the Karma, actually. So we get some of our more typical earlier in the season supports. Once again, let's see what Giants use their second pick on.
I find it very interesting that people don't want to use Lulu in this series right here. I think Lulu is so good at the moment. And she's also great against Malzahar, but Karma is, of course, overall a very strong and safe support pick. Jungle choice, very few high priority picks that Memento still play available. This is most likely Gragas top lane. Can be jungle, but I'm expecting it to be a flagship pick. And if you're ROCCAT, if you want to match tank v tank, you just take the Nautilus and you are pretty damn happy with that.
Maxlor takes himself the Lee Sin. Let's see if they want to match on their top for now. You'd think they might be going AD carry style right now.
Well, that's the thing, you can go AD carry and then have a few top lane bans because the top lane pool at the moment is pretty wide. We saw yesterday 5 or 6 top lane bans, and you still had good picks to play like Renekton. Camille is also open. And they haven't decided to lock that one in yet, so there's a lot of good picks. Ooh.
And there's the Swain.
The special.
They valued that enough to take it in the first rotation, and Nightlocks is Talon in. Oh, this could be spicy.
See, I want to see if Talon can actually do something early on, because Swain will always itemize towards Hourglass, which obviously is very good against the Talon here. Not only the active, but also just the flat armor you get from it is fantastic against a champion that normally builds a lot of lethality. So ROCCAT have 2 picks already in Lee Sin and Swain who can itemize armor. Giants' magic damage is the Gragas and the Karma, not enough to force you to build early MR. which is really good. In laning phase against the Gragas, yes, you get like a little bit, but that's about it. So we talked about the Renekton also being available. It's gone. Nautilus is still up there. You can just pick him, take him against the Gragas, take the 1v1, and it's fine.
In terms of magic damage for Giants too, if it's not banned away in these last two, the Ziggs is still available if EQ decides to take it.
I'd probably ban Ziggs if I was ROCCAT here. Maybe force the Gragas to be jungle and then force Giants to pick an AP top laner like Rumble. But right now, Ziggs is still available and Giants can take it. Also with the Sivir ban, could set up for it.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what ROCCAT banned in their last. Is it going to be that Ziggs? Are they going to let it through for EQ?
I think you get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Force Giants to move some of these picks around. Like a Gragas jungle for Memento, it's not his kind of pick. You want him to play something like that. That's in your favor if you're ROCCAT. Ashe ban is very interesting. It is a good pick against Malzahar. Due to the very long range of Ashe, you can kind of force Malzahar to play without his passive most of the time. It is still going to be either Rumble jungle or Gragas jungle. We don't actually know which one goes to the top lane just yet. Giants might decide depending on what ROCCAT is showing. I think you can play it fairly safe with the Nautilus, otherwise the Gnar is something that can lane against both Gragas and Rumble.
Flexing to the end is Giants on ROCCAT's side. They take the Varus. Went through last time without even being considered. So they have a very pokey bottom lane, a la the likes of 7.1 to 3 or 4, and there's the Gnar preempting.
As talked about, simply because, again, it can lane against both these picks. It would have been a little bit difficult if they had gone for like a Nautilus against the Rumble. They would lose pressure on top side. Giants did get the AP, but they got the AP from Rumble, so they can go for this. Very, very hard to execute comp from Giants, though. Talon who falls behind, useless. Rumble, early impact, not really there unless you can find a 1v1. And the bottom lane from Giants as well, with this Ezreal against Varus, can struggle. Like, that's the thing. Varus, while the nerfs definitely hit him, his laning phase is still fine. His level 6 is still very strong with his ulti. I want to see if he's building crit or lethality in this game, but we can talk about that in-game. Ezreal on the other side, you need a pushing support with you. That is what Karma offers, so that's why the lane can go against most things in League of Legends, because you have like the ability to shove these waves with the Karma Qs and the Ezreal combined. Very interesting pick and ban phase though. Rumble jungle again, Pyra.
Yes, indeed. We'll see if Memento's able to get up to speed a little earlier on it. Curious. You said HiQ and Hustlin should be able to at least stand toe-to-toe, but I mean, you have to think they're going to get pushed in, unlike what they were doing last time around. They had the push on themselves.
I think, yeah, they just don't have a lane that you play around. And that's the thing, like ROCCAT can just have an even bottom lane if they choose to, or they can play super aggressive with the Lee Sin, because you have the ganking jungler right now. Talon against Swain, I want to see this matchup. Swain is very strong in the laning phase, and it's great for Swain to go early armor because he wants that hourglass anyway. So it can be very difficult for Knight to really get rolling, but I want to see how it plays out. He instant locked it. Instant locked it and said, I'm taking this champion no matter what.
Let's see whose comp reigns supreme. If you believe in ROCCAT and the 2-0, hop on Twitter at LOL Esports. It's hashtag ROC win. Or our Giants going to fire back. Will they force game number 3? Hashtag GIA win if you think so. We'll be about to find out. Swain versus Talon in the mid lane. We want to put a big magnifying glass on that one and see what happens early. Definitely
agree. Overall, though, very good lanes for ROCCAT all across the board. Getting the Gnar against the tank in top lane as well. So once again, they're not, drafting, pure scaling on the side of ROCCAT and losing hard early game, giving Giants that opportunity. They're picking very strong lanes overall. They're saying we can match you there, and if we match you in the early game and get to mid and late game, then we can beat you. So I think it's an overall very good plan for ROCCAT.
Let's see if it all goes according to plan. Starting off, Yarnin with the boots on Varus. HiQ with the longsword. Check in how they match up in the duo lane. I have to think Dragon's going to be a pretty big priority with the Infernal being the first on the Rift, but it's a while before that'll happen. Only a minute on the clock, obviously, as everyone's taking their places.
Yeah.
Red side start for ROCCAT.
So we have flat armor penetration on Knight. Only 6 here early on.
Minions have spawned.
On Yarnin, not a whole lot. So I want to see the build order. I think crit Varus is something we might see more of right now. Because again, Edge of Night after the nerfs, it's harder to fully stack pure lethality, and some of it has been nerfed as well. Simply means that your damage outside of poke against squishies is kind of meh. And then you're not that useful as an AD carry.
Yeah, he's got a utility ultimate, but not nearly as much damage as we're used to seeing from that Varus. Maxlor getting a pretty healthy leash here.
I want to see the path then from him. Normally when you see the changes and suddenly the bottom lane is actually surrendering the early push in their lane to get the jungler rolling from the bottom side, it's because there's some new jungle pathing. Because now you can see, you come down to the bottom lane, you already lost, or you've already seen Giants take down a few minions. You take a Q to the face, another one now. So you surrender the early push, which is not something most bot lanes wants to do. Because no one wants to be the lane losing. Like, it doesn't feel great, the casters are flaming you, Red is flaming you, it just sucks.
Yeah, all around bad news, right? Well, let's check in with the top lane. It is top lane week. I want to shift things up a little bit. And Faxi's gotten to play this Gnar not once but twice now. Flax has maybe had a little bit more trouble dealing with him.
And Faxi had a great Gnar in the last game. Some really good ultis from him. I miss the days where people were amazed when you said rage bar management. Those days are long gone though. Now it's just like, yeah, this guy understands Mega Gnar, so good for him. He's not really gonna mess that up. Oh, Maxlor, he's sneaking in behind Knight here. Knight, level 2. He's squishy. Double buff Lee Sin.
And the birds. Level 3 gank incoming right around the backside, and it's an instant exhaust on. He flashes. Oh, Maxlor does not connect on the Sonic Wave. Flashing forward doesn't get the job done.
Jesus, Maxlor! Huge mistake! He needs you to save the Q for when Knight jumps or flashes anywhere. You can just follow him with the red buff, even flash after him if needed.
Yeah, that was a misfire.
Oh, sad for Maxlor and ROCCAT. They got a flash, they got an offensive summon as well. Memento might look to try and counter gank Knight. That's like 40% HP. Betsy's full, but no exhaust on Betsy, and he might feel a little bit too confident, but Memento does back away. I want to see if we can get a potential replay of the gank, because Maxlor thought that it was mind games and Knight was saving the flash, and then he could just Q him and follow him after. Betsy now, he's overstaying.
Oh boy, Betsy just might be. He's walking towards the wrong base right now. He's got flash. He might have to use it. He knows he's dead, and Knight is going to pick up first blood.
Oh, this is bad for ROCCAT now. Good response here from Memento and Giants. Classic one where after you had that gank, you feel like, okay, I'm winning the lane, I'm full HP, I'm pushing this guy on the turret, everything is great. You feel too confident. And then suddenly you can get ganked. There was no ward spotting Memento. He gets the kill, and Giants off to a good start.
It's big for the Giants mid laner too. We talked about difficulty of playing out this combo. It gets a hell of a lot easier if your big assassin in the mid lane starts to get fed.
But obviously, Pyro, to go back to that level 1 start with Maxlor, where we saw ROCCAT surrender some of the bottom lane pressure, it allowed him to end on the top side and then move around Knight, probably where he didn't expect it. He most likely thought that Maxlor would be on the bottom side of the map. That's where he was putting his wards as well. And then suddenly he snuck in unwarded, unnoticed, and he got that gank off, but it didn't work because of misplays, simply. The plan was good. Great play.
Yeah.
But you got to execute.
I mean, we've been giving ROCCAT a lot of praise for their recent performance, but they still can make mistakes individually. And as a team, let's see if that continues. Oh, Hustlin is flashing in, forcing everything out of Yarn, and Hiku getting pushed back, though, has to shift away. Memento is looking to come in, but Maxlor has already joined the party as well, and Knight there too. Giants are unable to come up with anything as the health bars were a little too low to fully commit.
Don't want to jump into their 3 or 4 Malzahar minions. They thought they had a free 4v2 play, but Maxlor, of course, on the bottom side, surrendered or defended his bottom lane. With it making sure Giants doesn't talk to his AD carry anymore. And now Betsy, where's he going? He's just going to ward. He's not going anywhere. He's level 4 Swain. You're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Trust me from playing too many Swain games in solo queue in the past. Whenever you fall just slightly behind, you feel weak. You feel so weak, Pyra. But he's still going to be fine. He has exhaust. He's going to get 6 soon. He's going to get some armor. It's okay. It's okay.
Just might need to take a little while before it gets to that point.
Yeah. Also, people flame you instantly if you fall behind on things like Swain, because they're like, why would you pick that? Just like play something Orianna, Syndra, or something else. And you're like, no, trust me, it can work.
It's a hard life out there.
No one believes in you.
Not just in the team environment, but
no one.
too.
They do not believe.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like you're coming from personal experience here, Deficio.
Yeah. Too many times. Too many times.
But let's go back to the bottom lane. Hustlin has gone pretty far to try and get a little bit of deep wards here into the ROCCAT jungle, but the AD carries are the ones I want to talk about. Hiku, he definitely got wrecked a little bit in the later stages of the game by Yarnan, but it's a different AD carry matchup this time around. The Ezreal versus the Varus, and the Varus was the one getting pushed in, not something we were used to seeing in previous patches.
No, again, he had to pull red buff level 1. Some nerfs as well. As we see from the last game, you mentioned it, you know, HQ couldn't really do a whole lot with Yarnan 9-1-8. Another great game from him. Like, he's really become a strong AD carry here later on in the split, and it's important for ROCCAT because one of the things we talked about, like week 1, was like, okay, we like some of these names here, but we want to see them perform. We're kind of looking for the carry. Who is the carry right here? Yarnan has become the carry on this team. Like, it's old form, it's great, and it's something that has been paying off for ROCCAT. It's why they've been able to win.
Yep. Also bearing in mind that that was on pretty much his signature champion, the Sivir. It's a little bit more conventional this time around, or not more conventional, I should say, but more what used to be conventional.
I want to see Jugger more with Yarnan.
Yeah,
that's an old classic, man. That's
this is where you get to see your Lulu, right?
Also, I get to see the Lulu, which was so contested yesterday in G2 Misfits. Early picked almost every game. It was even banned in some of the other ones.
Surprising we haven't seen it come up in 2 pick and ban phases here between Giants and ROCCAT, but different teams do have different priorities.
Yes, it's a new patch. It's a fairly large patch as well, and it takes time to figure out what is the correct champions. Like, what is the correct pick order, what is the correct meta. And I'm glad that every team comes in with something different. You know, ROCCAT with the Swain, even still playing a lot of Varus. We saw a little bit of that in North America yesterday. Giants on the other side with the Talon, something we've seen in LCK quite a lot. So I'm glad we're seeing a lot of different things. The Rumble Jungle as well.
Oh yeah. Even though Memento, last game, had a harder time placing the equalizers where he wanted them to be, wasn't able to get us involved early due to the nature of the champion. Has had less trouble this time around. Started off with the counter gank in the mid lane. Netted him an assist.
It was perfect for him. Like, you couldn't ask for a better start, really. Your Talon got the kill. Your Rumble in the jungle got an assist. I want to see, though, with Knight, his impact, obviously, when you play things like Talon, and you see a Varus, you love it. Like, you can jump him, you can kill him, he can't do anything. But everything else on the side of ROCCAT, not really going to be the ideal target. Again, Hourglass and Rod of Ages, Swain at some point. Armor is going to come in on both Gnar and Lee Sin. It's going to be pretty difficult for Knight.
Yeah, it's difficult to play Assassins overall, right? It's always a little risky, but, you know, his Ahri, even though it got shut down pretty hard during the later stages of that last game, he was still able to be a threat early on. This Talon, it's something that he is pretty credited to bringing out in Europe at the very least. Only a handful of games really played on the champion, even though we were really eagerly anticipating seeing the parkour in action. He's the one who's been delivering on it. See if he can find a win here. 1 kill to start things off, and he's got some lethality already. Knight working his way to edge of Knight. 1 step closer to the edge.
He wants to Ghost Blade first.
That's true. I'm getting ahead of myself.
He'll go for the edge of himself.
To change the name if he goes good on it. Let's see what Maxlor can get done. He's in the mid lane once again.
Well, last time it didn't work. This time there's Flash and ulti.
And he's out. Knight's hopping the wall.
It's actually really hard to gank Talon because all these annoying walls around the mid lane, you can use them. See, now he's actually waiting for Maxlor. Who jumps who, Pyra?
That is in fact the question.
Sneaking around.
Ward's cleared. Maxlor, oh, places that one in. There's a control ward though, and he'll know it.
Double value for Maxlor. He gets 1. He's afraid of going for the second one because he doesn't know where Memento is. We can obviously see everything, but he can't.
Yeah. Let's toggle vision here for just a second. See what ROCCAT are seeing on the map. They definitely don't know that Memento has just gone back and started things off.
Well, overall, ROCCAT will be very happy because they have the full river vision. They can see people in the lane. They can see Talon now coming from the mid lane. And they know, okay, Memento's bottom side. They have to know he's bottom side because, again, they're starting this dragon and Talon was even hovering around. Because otherwise Talon would never even walk close to this, like, to this river because why would he alone? So they kind of knew Memento was nearby, but not close enough because they had full vision in the river. So they get the Infernal Drake, fantastic for them. Memento, he's looking for the Raptors.
Might be able to chase him off.
These Raptors, by the way, they're so damn useless. Like, how are these ever going to survive in nature?
Oh, this is a controlled environment, Deficio. It's a Summoner's Rift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's you have different enclosures, more like a zoo, really.
It's just like if
where you just kill each other on the map.
If you're like a chicken who can't even fly or jump or anything, I just feel like you don't really have any way of doing a whole lot. You're going to be bottom of the food chain.
Yeah, typically that's the case, although
they don't even have arms.
Look at creeps on the board as well. No, they don't. And it is unfortunate that they were designed that way. They don't have any maze to fight back.
But they give a good ton of experience, and Knight.
That's the important thing to Deficio.
He's on his way, Pyre.
They were picking up that experience. Now, Knight wanted to get over the pit, but he gets spotted. There's a couple of wards there. Faxi playing it out safe. You saw that last game. He was on the up and up with the CSD, and it's the case of the matchup that he's doing it again against Flaxish.
Yep.
Pushing him back with that Gnar boomerang. Oh, he could be in trouble. No Gnar bar. Now it's coming up.
Like we were both charging up a word there, depending on what was happening. But we talked about, you know, the hourglass 500 times already for Betsy. He has his early arm guard. So this lethality here from Knight, not going to be that great against the Swain. I want to see Ninja Tabbies coming in from certain people on ROCCAT as well. Yes, there's going to be one from Yana, there's going to be one from Betsy. Well, Maxlore, Faxi. Betsy might not need it. Kill that last one. While. Stupid Raptor.
Giants this game on the up in the gold game just because of that early play, but they lost out on the Infernal Dragon. Now they're trying to keep the vision very clear in this river, but doesn't seem like they have too much they can get done because ROCCAT are playing it mostly safe on the rotational game.
Yeah, they're looking for something, you know. Problem is, if you're Giants and forcing plays, it's not always that easy. You don't have like a ton of hard engagement with your comp other than the Gragas, but he's stuck in top lane, so the Rumble is not forcing anything. Knight wants to look for the 1v1s, but he needs to find the proper squishy targets, and they're sitting in the bottom lane. So, as you can see, there's a control ward, 2 control wards actually in the bot side jungle of ROCCAT. They will spot the roam.
If it ever does, in fact, come. EQ and Hustlin staying safe, but they're not pushing their luck right now.
And that makes it tough, because even in the 1-3-1 later that you always want to do with Talon, Swain will be able to hold him 1v1. And then Faxi on the Gnar will again win the other side lane with their Gnar into tank matchup. So once again, ROCCAT will actually have winning side lanes. And that forces Giants to win through picks. And that's where it gets difficult. If the enemy team has proper wards, creating picks is really, really hard. And you can see on the map again, it's just like ROCCAT has a ton of wards down. They're pinging and spotting Knight every single time he leaves the mid lane. Every time.
And it's exactly what you said in the end of the pick and ban phase. That Giants have such a hard to execute composition, and it's compounded by the fact that they just aren't going to be able to do this in stealth either. Ghostblade popped as Knight goes over to pick up the blue buff, but they do seem to have been stalled out for the time being. And 14 minutes into this game, it's 400 gold lead, but that's not huge.
No, again, we need to see if Knight can show some crazy moves. He might find Maxlore now, and Maxlore checks it with Betsy. But yeah, Knight needs to be creative in his pathing. The way he try to get down towards that bottom lane, or maybe top lane. Like, Faxi is still fairly squishy. If you can get up there and set up a gang with Gragas, it can work. But there's multiple wards on top side from ROCCAT. Bottom side, they just killed those control wards that Giants had set up to allow Knight to go to the bottom lane. So we're kind of tracking just how ROCCAT is defending without actually fighting. They're just defending by putting out vision and killing the enemy control wards to make sure there's no clear path to take. If you go anywhere, even parkouring around, we will find you.
Playing the safe enough macro game.
See, now he gets spotted here by this ward.
Going in. He just loses Mega Gnar, but Knight gets hopped on. And unfortunately, he can't get any damage down before he's got to get out of there. Wasn't expecting Faxi to just jump right over his head.
Faxi saw him, walk through that ward. So this means ROCCAT now with bot lane control with the ultis on Varus and Malzahn. Let's see. This might be something for Giants.
Teleport coming in. Let's see what Memento and Flaxish can do right now. There is the ultimate. It knocks Maxwell right into Memento, but he kicks away Memento. And there's the equalizer coming down. Knight around the side looking for Maxlore, finishing the job he does, but another grasp blocks him in place. Not for too long as he hops in for a double kill. That is exactly what Giants mid laner needed.
Oh,
Hikyu in, heal from Hikyu, and Hustlin gets the final hit.
All right, very important here for Giants. They get the kills. Knight was just outside tower range, so he didn't die, even though Malzahn ulted him. Faxi will get the top lane tower. Giants trying to race for the bottom one.
Close. Oh, wow, that was milliseconds away.
We talked about it though, Pirate. Giants needed these picks. They needed to find a way to just get a few kills on the board here because they can't just let ROCCAT sit and farm in these lanes. Well executed play on the bottom side. 3 kills and a tower. Important. And 3 of them onto Knight. Well, 2 of them. Sorry, he had 1 before.
Yeah, I mean, that's still critical, though, for Giants, is that they've got the kills on their mid laner. Whenever you pick a champion like Talon, you want to be able to get fed as best as possible. Assassins just love it. And he's going to do a lot of work with all that extra gold. See, it's going to be enough to take down the likes of Betsy. Was able to get Maxlore and did in that.
And ROCCAT they were just defending and defending and defending. They were clearing wards. They were spotting Knight every single time. The one time they didn't overcommit for a tower everyone from Giants react and go to the bottom lane. TP, Knight roamed down as well. It was everything Giants were hoping for. And ROCCAT were trying to play it safe and be like, hey, we can maybe push in this tower, we have some vision. But it was just a little bit too far forward. And that's how quickly this game can go. Like, from doing everything technically correct. Oh, is that a bot lane tower for us? Oh, wait, now there's a chance for Knight to come down. And 5 members from Giants show up, 3-0 Talon.
One slip up can punish, and not only have Giants managed to get the kills, they're extending their lead, they also grab themselves another tower, so starting to push a little bit farther forward, 1,000 and a little bit more as CQ tries to 2-step away from Yarnen's hail of arrows, and now the focus is on mid. Yeah,
Betsy will get bot lane tower, so ROCCAT will trade. Have to respect the fact that Giants are coming from top side though.
Equalizer, it's found Yarnen, he gets the Ghost Blade popped away, EQ going forward, Max Lore and Yarnen a little bit low. And what did pushes them back with the Voidlings, but Knight is on the other side. Let's see, he pops the shield, goes in on the ultimate, and there is gonna get kicked back, but he still manages to take down the support. Red buff in tow there. Now ROCCAT are trying to react as Faxi came in and got a big gnar against the wall. Yarnen gets one, Yarnen gets two. Giants are running. EQ sends the true shot, finds Max Lore. Looking to try and outplay, but no thank you, says Yarnen with his 3rd kill of the game.
Just like in the last game here, Giants chasing the kills and Yarnen and the rest of ROCCAT responding. 3 kills for the AD carry now. Good response here overall, but Giants still got a few kills. 4-0 now on the Talon. It's even in gold though. Infernal for ROCCAT as well, and this mid lane tower might also go down. Full HP blue buff Swain. Just lost the blue buff, and they're respecting the fact that Giants is on the way back.
Yeah, this was what looked like a promising fight for Giants.
So Knight is actually running between 2 turrets right here to get into the fight. Joins it, and then they just try and deal as much damage to him as possible. Buying enough time for Faxi to join. Obviously, we have the Swain roaming from the bottom lane. Good ulti again from Faxi. What a great Gnar performance, both in game 1 and 2 now. Yarnen getting 2 kills, and now Betsy obviously joining. So Hikyu realizes, can't get out. He has to go for the kill. And don't want to show Max Lore dying.
Trades 1 for 1 at least.
We've shown Max Lore dying enough this split, so we just caught away from that one.
But we have seen Knight starting to get pretty big. 4-0-2 now on this Talon. Has had the Ghost Blade for some time. Also sitting on Serrated Dirk, so he has a fair amount.
But look at that. Look at that. Everyone on ROCCAT, they agree. We need some ninja tabs.
Oh, yeah.
Except for, of course, the support.
No, it did break in the
odd man out. Well, I like them.
To be fair, he also wanted the 70-minute game.
That's true. But he didn't want the long games.
I don't think we'll get that one. Last time around, remember, it was only 33 minutes before ROCCAT were able to close this out. It's getting closer and closer to 20 right now. But Giants are the ones in the lead, even though it's slim.
Such an insane amount of damage you block with Ninja Tappy against some of these physical damage dealers. It's one of the reasons they're so good. The item in itself, just through the stats, are 104% gold efficient. And that is without the damage you block from the Ninja Tappy as well, just from the armor and movement speed. So Faxi getting caught.
Yes, he is, and Narbar is not going to complete in time. Memento gets the kill. That's AP, so no able to block it too much with the Ninja Tappy. Max Lore, meanwhile, is picking up a consolation prize in the form of that Cloud Drake.
And we were praising ROCCAT so much in the early game for their vision. It has been slipping a little bit. You saw top side right now was all red. Giants had everything down. This one ward has just been placed, and the other one up in the tri-bush didn't really do anything. So Faxi was caught with his pants down, had no idea they were coming, and that's exactly what Giants want. You want this chaos game, you know, wide open lanes, Talon who sneaks into the enemy jungle, you don't know when he shows up, and then he tries to one-shot someone. That is how Giants will win this game. Pure 5-on-5 against Ninja Tappies, Swain Exhaust, everything becomes real difficult for Giants. Obviously Exhaust is nerfed, we have to highlight that, but it still reduces damage. That is the key thing.
And movement speed, just not attack speed. So if Knight is coming at you, sometimes it might be best to pop that on him right away, as per usual. But 20 minutes into this game, ROCCAT are the ones with the Dragons. They have unfortunately lost out on the kill game, 7-3 so far. Last time around, they were 21-7 when the game actually ended. And let's see what they can get done. They're trying to play it out the 1-3-1 style, but they have a lot less map control than they had the last game around.
This is the moment where you sell Doran's Blade, you sell your potions, you just get a ton of control wards if you're both teams. Because ROCCAT needs them to defend, and Giants need them to deny vision from ROCCAT, so suddenly the Talon can move around in the shadows. So you have defensive control wards from ROCCAT and offensive controls from Giants. And Betsy
right on top of him. There's the exhaust. He goes in. Let's see if they can finish the job. Yes, he can. raking it to finish the job off, and Maxlor now a little bit low, but Flax is just the one that got grasped by the Nether of Wadid. Boomerang, not enough damage. Flaxus gets a shield out. Piercing arrow nails HQ and Knight, but not for enough damage. It's a 1 for none so far. ROCCAT still fancy their chances on this mid tower.
Classic Swain move here. You feel like a god. You think you can 1v3, but he needs a few more items. No Hourglass to keep him alive for longer just yet. So Betsy did go down. 1 kill for Giants. Mid lane tower dropping low. It's not dead yet, though.
Every one of those arrows, always think it's going to do a lot more damage. Now, Knight is unfortunately standing on a ward this time around, so it looks like that'll be the end of that right now. 3-8 is now the kill score as Giants manage to pick one up, but that might change. Okay, Faxi is nearly Meganar. Memento turns on the heat, but looks like Giants are the ones trying to get out of the kitchen here. Ultimate comes out from EQ. True Shot Barrage cleaves the minion wave just a little bit, but not nearly enough. They're going to need Knight to do it more, but he's taking a lot of return fire.
Keeps the tower alive. Well, we get to see ROCCAT looking for the 5v5s. Giants trying to single out people, like they just found Betsy right there. Important to kill him while you still can.
That is true.
Generally a very good advice. Like if you can't kill someone, go kill him.
Betsy picked this one during the first phase of picks and bans because he thought it'd be banned away once again. And well, Giants have so far done a decent job at trying to keep it from getting too powerful too early on, but there is still that late game Swain to contend with. And this game looks like it may go a while yet. Giants with a slim lead. 23 minutes in, and it's all about the vision control. It was an early Baron last time around for ROCCAT, but that was because they were able to pick up a really big fight. This is a very different style of game right now.
Yeah, we might see Giants, get a kill on top side and then go for this Baron. Use it to force a team fight when they're 5v4. We get the vision from ROCCAT right now. Can't really see a whole lot in the river, and that is a problem because that's where Knight and the rest of Giants are going to move around. Just trying to get into this jungle. Giants with a bit of vision.
Okay, Betsy, the tether's on him, and he's going to have to flash away from it. There was no way he'd be getting out alive otherwise. Can't even contest his Gromp right now. Giants, 3 members strong up topside. Knight, Memento, hustling, all looking to push on this tower. Betsy's here to defend, so is Maxlor. Are they going to go for him? It looks like it. Shadow Assault, and Knight picks up a 6th kill now. What did in Maxlor trying to come in, but Hikyu's right behind.
Man, Betsy's just looking at his amount of gold right now. He's like, come on, where's my Hourglass? There it is for him. Finally, he can actually stay alive a little bit longer. Get some sustain back. Faxi is bot lane with teleport. He's pushing for that turret. Rest of ROCCAT trying to just defend. They have the wave clear now, so they're going to defend this tower, Pyre. This is actually not bad for them. Losing 1 member, but getting a bot lane. Well, didn't actually get it. Almost got it down. Now Faxi might die because Memento's on his way.
Well, Faxi gets barreled in, and Memento is going to send on the equalizer. Faxi already burning Flash to try and get out, but still Flax is just right at his back here. Meganar is building up. The boomerangs come flying, and it looks like he will make his great escape.
All right, so in the end, Giants, they get a kill. Knight
goes in on Wadid, burns the spell shield. There's the Nether Grasp. He sends a rake, but Wadid was able to dodge it away. Ghostblade popped. He's right into the Baron pit. The Voidlings keep chasing and aggroing on the Baron. Yarnan was coming, so Knight had to get out.
It's a good at least for Giants to get that 1 kill. Another one for Knight. He has all the gold on Giants right now. If this guy's out of the fight, they can't do anything. So you can see how Knight, he wants this to be a solo queue game. He wants to be just everyone split up. No one can see a damn thing, and he just jumps people 1v1.
Yep.
Betsy has Hourglass now. Now he can actually feel more confident.
Still, Knight does have the damage to dish. Let's see if he can find anybody. If it's him that gets caught, the Never Move dodged away. Just steps right on out of it as Betsy was revealed inherently there. Ping's flying for ROCCAT. They don't know exactly if Giants are covered up in the pit just yet.
Now, remember what we talked about, Pyre, how Giants using control wards for offensive vision, place it in the enemy jungle or in the river to clear out their wards, so they have to face check. And suddenly, surprise, surprise, you get jumped by the Talon.
Classic thing, and now Maxlor's finding that one out the hard way, but he safeguards away before he burns down too low.
And there's a blue trinket ward in the Baron pit, so ROCCAT can see the Baron. You always need a ward in there.
Oh, they pulled in Yarnan. What a shutdown. Hiku with the final Mystic shot. And now Betsy's trying to defend. Memento is a little bit low here. He's got to be careful. Giants wavering for a second. Faxi is still pushing now.
That was a great ulti. Yarnan did not expect that, otherwise he would have flashed it. So great engage from Giants. Botlane tower is still alive. I think Yarnan used the flash after he got hit.
Yeah.
If I saw it correctly.
It's a little slow on the fingers sometimes, that happens. But this will give Giants the opportunity to open up for a Mountain Drake. It'll help them when they want to siege down these towers. The ROCCAT are going to be clearing vision around the Baron pit once again.
I want to go back and see that little engage. Can't really fault Yanen because he's busy looking at other things. He doesn't expect Flaxis to sit at that Raptor camp.
I think he can dodge the barrel too. It's obviously
he's
slower travel time.
He had actually just placed his E in the minion, so he's clearly looking at the minion wave when it actually happens. And then ulti flies in behind him. He's not looking straight at his character, and he ends up going down. So good engage for Giants. They got the Mount Drake, important for the potential Baron, because when you play these comps like Talon, you know, a lot of split push, you need Baron to win the game. You don't win the game through just purely catching people left and right. So here, like, look at Yana. He used the E in the minion wave, so that's why he's looking. And then, surprise.
Yeah. Oh, and even healed right after it, but then there was just enough damage. And, well, you know the rest. So Giants, now 2,000 gold in the lead. Knight pushing back minion waves here and try to get more vision back on the Baron. Faxi's really been relentless about trying to push down on the bottom side. ROCCAT are playing this objective game. It's a tense one, though. You have to think, it's so much is on the line for these two teams at the bottom of the table. ROCCAT, despite the fact that they had a big surge in momentum, they don't want to give up any games if they can avoid it.
And what makes it funnier is even with the 10-3 difference, or 10-3 score, it's so even. Like, this small amount in gold doesn't matter. The fact that it's all about key items, and one team looking for the complete different thing than the other one. Like, one wants to group team fights, another one wants to split up fights. Makes it super fun, because whichever team gets to play their style, they will win the game. If ROCCAT gets to just get 5-on-5 team fights where they have full control of Talon, they're going to be okay.
Need the tempo to make it happen. So Maxlor gets a smite off on the blue.
This stupid blue trinket is still in the Baron pit. It is blocked now by control wards, luckily, so that is something. It has a lot of blue trinkets in there, so it's good enough. There's another one actually just got popped into the Baron pit by Giants. Sorry, by ROCCAT. Also being blocked, so they're just doing it to get the instant vision.
Oh boy, Maxlor checking face first into that brush, but they couldn't quite finish him off. Betsy was exhausted. There goes the redemption for Giants. They're looking for round 2, and they found what did. Who gets shut down? Hikyu taking the kill on that one. Flaxis on the front line, continuing to push forward, but now they're backing away as they realize Faxi nearly has Meganar. He hops, he skips, he can't find the ultimate that he was looking for, but he's still able to chuck the brick house Giants' way.
So once again, Giants get 1 kill. Can they get anything else? Bot lane wave might threaten to take down a tower, so they have to send the Gragas in to take it. That means no Barons being started. Knight is sneaking around in the enemy jungle, but this time, Giants haven't denied vision, so he is spotted. This tower needs just a few hits from these minions.
Oh. Man, Faxi just keeps on going back there and chipping away at it. It's just bit by bit, inch by inch, but Flaxis is going to defend it for now. Now, Betsy is caught out eating some honey fruit. Knight actually doesn't want to go in on that.
Kill control ward. Release the blue trinkets. Yeah,
there we go.
They can see something. All 3.
All right, so Giants will have to clear those ones out themselves now unless they want to pop down another control ward.
Luckily, killing those blue ones are pretty easy.
Yep, it's one shot.
It's just one shot.
Meganar's up there top.
Or you just place another control ward and you deny the vision anyway. ROCCAT again, they get to play their game right now. They get to just sit as 5. They're losing a member here and there, but they're buying time. They're buying time every single time. And that is key for them. Varus still stacking up some of these items. We get their lethality.
Yeah, didn't play the crit build, but did clears out.
Wait, Betsy?
Control ward. Let's see what Betsy's doing right now. Memento's actually the one that's caught in, and Maxlor takes him down. There was an equalizer, but it wasn't enough to finish the job. However, Hikyu manages to take out Betsy on a true shot, and they've got hustling. Flashing forward. He got it on the boomerang, and now he's almost got Meganar just in time for a big shutdown on Knight. It was Hayarnen that managed to get it, and Hikyu and Flaxis limp away at the end.
And we keep talking about it, Pyra. ROCCAT, they want their 5-on-5 team fights, and they're getting them. Giants are not able to play this crazy style where they split up the enemy team over and over and create catches. It was Memento got caught. Flaxis is trying to stop the Baron. Or stopping them for killing the wards. Another fight though, and this time ROCCAT managed to win it. I think Betsy had Hourglass ready when he died.
This is big though. Giants, they were the ones that were managing to win fights earlier on in the game, and it started to shift a little bit. 31 minutes now. As you said before, the gold was not honestly a huge factor, even though Giants were on the up and up early on. It wasn't by a whole lot. Baron, the all-important buff, is on the line. Let's see how it started here in this fight.
Good ulti. Great ulti from Yanen onto Memento. They take him down very early in the fight. Betsy didn't get to use his Hourglass. And then ROCCAT is still winning the fight, because Faxi, we have to remember, on this Gnar, like, he's strong. He's very, very strong. He has damage.
Timely Meganar, really.
Very good time. Very good time. Luckily won in a sense, I guess. Well, also good timing on your rage bar. It's a bit of both, you know.
I mean, he hadn't got that. That was looking like a GA pop for sure. Take a look at that last team fight, and even though Foxy joined in at the back half of it, he obviously was pretty big.
So the last 15 minutes, it was Giants controlling around the Baron, around the topside river. Now it's ROCCAT, able to kill all the wards. Giants are sitting and 5v5ing in the mid lane. Makes it harder for them to win fights as well. Kind of relying now on someone from ROCCAT getting jumped and killed by Knight in the start of the fight, but then Knight also has to stay alive, which is very difficult. Does have QSS now, important to highlight.
Makes it a little bit harder. It's a little more slippery. Giants on the siege here. They have that Mountain Drake. Knights around the side.
He's not spotted.
Not just yet anyways. Nobody's placing the wards down, but the wave is cleared, so he doesn't see an opening to go in.
And we need just full defensive wards from ROCCAT. Knight is behind enemy lines. They don't know he's sitting there. They haven't seen him at all.
Here we go. He hops the wall, and Betsy realizes something is up. There's the equalizer. He goes in on a Yarnin, and with a Shadow Assault, he gets in, he gets out. Betsy now being fired down. He's going to have to pop his Zanya's Hourglass. The rest of Giants, they turn right back. After a big redemption, it's Hikyu that comes up with another kill. True Shot Barrage flying, chipping away the health bars. Faxi's Meganar comes in at a bad timing this time around. Never move dodged out, and Giants will finally finish off the mid turret. Wait a minute, they've got to take a few more shots.
They're gonna get it. Such an awesome play from Knight. Hiding in that jungle, moving behind the enemy, and then he instantly sees the Varus with no flash, and he jumps him, and he takes him down.
Oh man, he went full Mission Impossible for a while. Cue that theme music because he was just waiting and waiting for the moment. This buys Giants a chance to start on this Baron. But ROCCAT, Wadid's coming up, Yarnin's coming up. It's a 3v5 for now, though.
Let's see what they can do. Foxy stacking up towards that Meganar as well.
Foxy, they've got to turn for it right now. They turn off the Baron at half health. It's Betsy. They fire down. Exhaust is there, but he's being chased by everybody. Maxlor comes in. Knight hops the wall one more time.
So Giants get another kill, but ROCCAT stopped the Baron. Probably the best they could hope for in this situation.
Crucial.
Still, that last fight from Giants, fantastic. Watching them play around. Everyone from ROCCAT moving towards the Dragon, and then Knight sneaking in. ROCCAT probably now talking about how they need more wards. They need defensive wards on both sides.
Teleport's coming in here. It's Flash. They want to contest this Dragon. Memento's in the front, but Faxi, he's pushing him back once again. There's a big ultimate out of Wadid, and it's Yarnin that finishes him off with a piercing arrow. Flaxish, they weren't in sync with this one. Hikyu, he's going to get taken down by Foxy. He's going big on this one in Mininar, and Flaxish is trying to hold 3 here. In comes Knight. Can he make up for lost time here? Flaxish a little low, but it's a big redemption for ROCCAT. They stay healthy.
Get the redemption here. We have a Locket on the way as well from Wadid, making it even harder for Knight to carry this game. He's trying 8 kills on this Talon, but everything will be against him later on. Armor, Locket, redemption.
It's not just 8 kills, man. It's 7 assists. He's been involved in every single kill Giants have had.
Knight is playing, you know, a fantastic game.
He's the solo queue hero of this game for sure, but it's not the Giants are playing solo queue, it's that they just don't seem to have enough weapons. They haven't been able to make the fights happen later on in this game. Now ROCCAT are the ones starting the Baron.
Oh, this is scary though, because Giants are on the way. However, the jungler just spawned, 80 carry as well.
Slow.
They're taking it down now though. I think they're gonna get it. What a great call from ROCCAT.
Yeah, they're gonna get that trade-off there.
Redemption steal
coming in. No, not this time around. It's smited away by Maxlor and ROCCAT. 5 members on the Baron. Giants took the trade, and not one they would have hoped for.
Good call here from ROCCAT. Exciting game overall. A lot of fights. Cool, small individual outplays. Obviously, watching Knight against the world in some way. And ROCCAT trying to just get these fights together where they can see the talent. It's all about information for ROCCAT. Memento getting caught out. Not been a great performance on the Rumble. And now you're fighting this fight here where you've lost multiple members. Foxy going crazy on this Gnar. And Knight is trying, but look how fast. They just rally to Yarnin. Redemption comes down. He stays alive. And Knight sadly has to wait for the next fight.
All the while, they had minions pushing in side lanes as well. And Foxy was just a beast. It's not just the damage he was dishing, but the fact that he kept Hikyu out of the line. I mean, he's definitely been showing up pretty big. 2 games in a row now on this Gnar.
Pretty scary that ROCCAT gets the Baron as well, Pyra. It was Giants who was supposed to get a few kills and take the Baron and use it to get into the base of ROCCAT. Didn't happen now, and it's been a while since we've seen Giants near a turret. It's been all about the mid lane fights, like either Dragon setup or Baron setup. That's what they've been fighting, and it's just bought so much time for ROCCAT. We said it before again, if Giants gets to play their style, or it's split up, then Knight can carry alone. If ROCCAT gets to play 5-on-5, grouped, then they can control Knight, unless Knight makes the sick plays, like we saw he did once.
Yeah, still has some of that in him. The potential is there, but ROCCAT, they've learned to play around it. They've learned to avoid what Knight is dishing out, and now they're the ones sieging with this Baron buff all together in the mid. It's already down to half health on second tier turret. They're looking to get their 5th of the game. Giants had only knocked down the outer ring of turrets on their part. Knight is still looking, but unfortunately all he could really find was a Mega Gnar up in the top.
ROCCAT is complete now from Reddit. Very important against some of these burst assassins. Insanely strong shield coming in.
Fox is going to get this one. Does he commit to it? No, he's going to hop on top of his own minion and send the boomerang out for Knight, who hops right in. Once again, Noxian diplomacy there. But it buys enough time for the rest of ROCCAT to finish off this tower. Giants still in damage control.
So we still follow the trend of the first Baron, giving you the last outer turrets. The Baron will run out fairly soon, 1 minute left, and that means ROCCAT might have to just settle for vision and pushing in the lanes and not getting an inhib turret.
That's one trend we've met, but for Giants, this has been a very different type of game, and they
I didn't see this
are going to
big
have
wave.
to defend this, though. Betsy was marching those Baron-empowered minions.
Yeah, let's see what they can do with this one. I didn't see such a big wave in the bottom lane. They have 2 cannons as well. Trying to see if they can get that tower down. There's engage.
They knock in Yarnin, but unfortunately they knock him back, and they mistimed on Memento's ultimate. Here comes Betsy in the front. He goes gold, and that's enough time for the rest of ROCCAT to react. Flaxus, though, goes in again. Another grasp on him, and Knight looking to assassinate Yarnin round number 2, but Foxy's already got one. Knight's having to hop out. Foxy chasing him down. What a big shutdown! And now it's ROCCAT charging into the base.
Once again, ROCCAT together as a team. They're able to lock down the Talon. Good ulti on Flaxus as well, so ROCCAT, they finally get more than just a few kills.
They knock down the inhibitor. Faxi still on the front. He's low, though, and that's a Guardian Angel pop there, but it's worth it to take down Memento. They're still firing on the Nexus turret, so they want to end it right here, right now. It's EQ and Hustlin here to defend, but they've got to hightail it back to the fountain. Betsy chasing him down with no minions left. It doesn't matter for ROCCAT here. Maxler coming in, trying to push off EQ, who takes him out, or no, not nearly. That's going to be just enough to finish the Nexus. It's ROCCAT. No minions required. They're going to take it out. 39 minutes. 2-0.
Such an important win for ROCCAT. 4 wins now total. They are tying Fnatic. They're chasing that playoff spot, and if Fnatic don't manage to win games, then ROCCAT might steal it from them. That is so important and insane. Like, these guys were sitting, coming into the Origin match without a single win.
They had 2 game victories in 6 weeks. And then it all changed when ROCCAT started blasting off to victory.
And this
8-2 in the last 2 weeks in games.
This is so good for ROCCAT, but it's so tough for Giants. Like, you think back to last week. So unfortunate, and then now losing to ROCCAT. So it's 4 series win for the guys on the side of ROCCAT, and 2 only for Giants right now. This simply means that unless Giants can take down some of the top teams in the group, they won't catch ROCCAT. They won't avoid the promotion tournament. I think, however, the Giants is more than good enough to requalify for the LCS if they end up in that promotion tournament.
Oh yeah. I mean, they still have a couple of wins, so they won't be looking like the last place team. Origin still not managed to find anything on the board, but it's a tough couple of weeks ahead that they're going to have to face G2, Fnatic, Misfits. Yeah. Maybe in Fnatic's current form, they can find a victory there. That's important. But it's harder and harder to catch ROCCAT now that they've lost to them.
The positive, though, again, is ROCCAT. It's their transformation. We watched these guys struggle against Origin in this 75-minute long game where nothing worked, and we were just like, what is happening?
And then
suddenly, by winning that series, it's like they got confidence, they got momentum, everything suddenly started working for them. 4 series wins in a row now from ROCCAT, climbing out of that last place. It's a fantastic story, and we start seeing these individual players really show up. Yarnin is one of them. Betsy in the first game on Echo had a good performance. Wasn't as great on the Swain, but then Foxy suddenly steps up on the Narg. Players we haven't seen much from all split long, looking really good at the moment, and ROCCAT looking like a very good team.
Yeah, and this is the time that you want to show it off. When you're getting towards the end of the split, there's still a chance for this team to make playoffs. There's still a chance for them to push themselves far. And it's so important for the ROCCAT organization because they have been in and out of promotion tournaments for the better part of the last few years.
Of course.
And it's a once proud brand for sure that they're looking to honestly make great again.
And we're obviously talking about, ROCCAT now, comparing them to every other team around them. That's why we're saying they're looking good. We're obviously not saying they're going to beat G2
Nothing
suddenly.
happens in a vacuum. They're looking good in that bottom four for sure.
Down towards these bottom four teams, they have now become the strongest. If we compare them to Vitality, Origin, and Giants, that's what we see today with the 2-0. It was a tough second game. The Talon got super fed. You had to get so much defensive vision up. But then as soon as Giants started opting into these 5-on-5s, only once did they actually win it. We saw otherwise ROCCAT keep it so even within like 1 kill every time, just buying a bit more time. And then in the end, they finally won a fight that then allowed them to push all the way in and actually open up the base.
Absolutely.
Fun game.
I think we should definitely highlight at least one player that you were saying really was stepping up throughout the series too, and it's Faxi. He's our player of the series. He got himself Gnar twice, and boy, did he make that work. I mean, we talk about being difficult to execute with the teleports and managing the Gnar bar, but, I mean, he gave a masterclass in it.
Exactly. Like, good laning phase. He was able to have pressure every single time. Didn't really get, surprise ganked more than once from what I remember in the last game where the Talon came to his lane. And then team fighting. Like, that was the key one for me. How he understood his damage in mini Gnar, so he was actually able to chase down kills. And then as soon as he got Mega Gnar, every time we got a pretty impactful ulti. 1 or 2 guys, maybe 3, knocked into a wall. They could follow up. It turned around quite a lot of fights for ROCCAT. So really good performance from him. And again, as we said, it's a player we haven't seen a whole lot from. So it's great to see now here late on in the split that he's starting to kind of feel more comfortable on stage. And we get to see what he can do.
Oh, the guy's still a rookie, man. I mean, he just had 26 games in the European LCS so far. It's really impressive to see him finally starting to show these, carry-esque qualities on himself and starting to differentiate himself from some of the lesser-known names. And it is top lane week, so it's all the more important we put a focus on this guy.
Yeah, that's not why we gave it to him.
No, he played well on his own, even if it wasn't.
Yeah, he deserves it. He definitely deserves it.
It's just good timing, trust us.
Definitely deserves it.
But he's not the only one, too. I mean, you look at what had a lot of really crucial nether grasps in the last game. Honestly, despite the derp early on, Maxlor still showed up pretty big on the Lee Sin. Nobody makes a perfect play, but that's the difference between an S- and an S, right?
That's true. That's true. Maxlor became the team playing Lee Sin. Every team fight, he would just jump to whoever, Knight jumped, and try and just kick Knight away, defend this guy.
Keeping everybody off Yarnan, who
exactly.
Also had a pretty solid performance on the Varus, despite maybe getting shoved in a little bit early.
Yeah, no, I think Yarnan overall, especially outside of laning phase, is looking really strong.
Oh, it's such a treat to see this guy back in action in the LCS too after the hiatus. And
I like it.
The first game was really impressive. I really want to see that Kog'Maw Lulu come out again though. Eventually, hopefully.
We will get Joggermaw at some point.
Yeah.
We will.
It's a soon TM, right?
We have to. We've seen it somewhere else in a few other places, but not in Europe yet. I feel like we're getting a lot of exciting picks though now. Like, look at this pick and ban phase.
I mean, 7.5 is a whole new day.
Swain, Talon, everything.
Yeah. We're taking a look on the bottom of the screen, too. They're setting up for interviews post-game as well, so we'll get to hear some of the insight from the ROCCAT players.
We have to be careful now, because when the players get the in-ears in, they can hear what we're saying.
We're not allowed to flame them anymore, right?
You don't want to drop that one. Yeah, I think Maxlor sucks, like suddenly, and he hears it, and his day's ruined.
And then you're just completely, flamed on Twitter by him for, a week straight.
Exactly, you don't want that to happen, so you got to be careful now. We have,
It's hard to be an analyst, isn't it?
It is sometimes, I don't think Maxlor sucks, though. I think, actually, also the last few games, he's been looking much better.
Well, ROCCAT is a team. I mean, it's so crazy to think that we were talking about just last week that it had been since 2015 that they had strung together a completely winning week. However, they then now double that. They've gone on and won all their series in the last 2 weeks. And it's just been impressive to see this growth overall.
So they've done their job now because they played Fnatic and they played Giants from their own group. And they won those series. So that was the important thing for ROCCAT. They have Misfits and G2 left. And as we said, when we're talking about them looking much better right now, we are talking in comparison to the teams around them. So we're not expecting them to suddenly go in and stomp a Misfits or G2.
Now that'd be quite an upset for sure.
If they can go even though against those teams, we're seeing the good trend continue from these guys. Most importantly, they dodge it looks to be like they're dodging the promotion tournament. And that is the key thing. Giants have to now pick up a lot of wins to catch them. And maybe again, catch Fnatic.
Yeah, there's always that chance. Things start to look a little less certain in Group A, and honestly, the one thing that is certain so far is that ROCCAT have been on a big uptick, and it does kind of challenge the world order, or the Group A order, as it were.
A lot of people were saying it was a little bit boring, that the groups were just the same. No one was changing in the groups at all. We have a chance
We
now.
didn't have to update the graphics too much, though. That was nice.
That was very nice. We just keep the same one every week and just change a little number every time, and that was about it. It was mainly in Group B we actually saw, switches in first and second with ROC and Unicorns. The Splice guys were just kind of sitting in third place, but...
Things are changing. It's a new day here in Europe, of course.
They're on the way. I see you guys. I see you.
All right, well, that's enough from us to fish you. For more on that important 2-0 win for ROCCAT, we're going to go ahead and send it over to the analyst desk.
Here comes, guys. Yeah, thank you guys very much. And of course, we had to speak to player of the series, Foxy and Maxor, as now ROCCAT is on their 4th consecutive win. First up, congratulations. Very unexpected for a lot of people, Foxy. Tell me about this series specifically. You again had a fantastic 2 games on NAR.
I just got really confident on GNAR from the previous series I got on Fnatic, and I got a lot of hate in some previous GNAR performances. So I tried to prove myself that I can actually play GNAR pretty good. So I went ham today. Yeah,
you were giggling a bit about that. See that as well. Did you help him and say, hey, you know, if you want to play it and you know they're good at it, just do it?
He didn't really talk to me about the fact that he was reading Reddit comments and saying Foxy now was bad, but he definitely improved. Like, he showed a lot more confidence and actually like pushing the side lanes more, and I could feel him more in the game. No offense.
It definitely looked like there was a shift, and you used to play a lot of Maokai and Shen, and now with kind of the patch priority, yes. Do you feel like you want to show more on champions like Renekton and on NAR? Is that more kind of your natural tendency as a top laner?
Yeah. I'm more like a split pusher top laner. I don't like tanks that much, even though I can play them because they're really easy, but I just like to split push, carry the game, carry team fights, kill turrets on side lane, just push.
Yeah, that's what we usually hear from top laners, but sadly the meta is not always that forgiving. Yeah. Maxor, talk to me about this series specifically. For me, looking at it, Memento and Maxor are quite similar in the vein that they can carry an early game and propel their team forward. Were you looking to specifically shut down Memento in the series, or where were the priorities?
I think both games I wasn't really concentrated on shutting down Memento, but instead getting my laners ahead. We kind of messed up both games, the early game. Like the second game, just the gank on mid was, I didn't play it I played it okay, but we could have killed him. As I said, more focused on getting my lanes ahead and then just playing our comp right.
All right, last time we talked to you, unfortunately, was after a loss, and then now all of a sudden you guys go on a 4-series winning streak. What has happened? What has changed in the team that you guys have been able to move upwards so fast?
I think it's mostly that win against Origin that gave us like that hope that we can actually win games, and after that we just started like, let's just win more games, I guess.
The momentum just changed?
I think it was more than that. Like, of course, that helped with the team atmosphere, but I think it's also like we sat down as a team and we talked about drafting because I don't think we were pulling off the best drafts. We didn't really have a game plan, but now we talk to each other more in game about what we need to do with our composition, and in the draft phase, like we talk about what we need, and it really depends on what side you are. So we just improved on that, and yeah, we're just playing better, I guess.
In the entourage, you guys now also are working with a sports psychologist, is what we heard. How is that working out for you guys?
It's good. I was able to flame my teammates, and they wouldn't get offended.
Is that the point of it? I don't think so.
I saw it that way.
Foxy, has it helped you specifically?
It's more like clearing the wind, like getting on the same page, that everyone understands what the team needs, and I think it helped, honestly. Yeah,
it's always good to have an extra voice. Before we move on, I do have to ask you about the standings. Before it was ROCCAT at the bottom of the standings, maybe just trying to avoid promotion tournament and getting into that safe spot, but you're now tied for wins with Fnatic. Is your brain going a bit crazy now because that playoff spot is within reach? How likely is it, Maxor and Foxy?
I mean, we're against Misfits and G2 next. I think it'll be really hard to beat G2, but against Misfits, we have a chance if we just focus on what we did wrong these games, like mainly the early game, because I think we played the macro pretty good and vision control and stuff like this. Maybe we can pull off a series win against Misfits.
All right, anything to add?
I would agree with that. G2 is a really tough opponent, but I think we can take down Misfits if we play really good.
Have a good day. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Thank you guys very much for joining me, and congratulations, Maxor, Foxy, and ROCCAT. 4 series win in a row, and for us, 1 series down and 1 to go. When we come back, Origin's final chance to save themselves from the dangerous waters of the promotion tournament. They'll be up against Splice when we return.
Now ROCCAT are trying to react as Baxi came in and got a big gnar against the wall. Yarden gets one, Yarden gets two. Giants and Betsy right on top of him. There's the exhaust, he goes in. Let's see if they can finish the job. Yes, he can. It's Yarden that finishes him off with a piercing arrow. Flashes, they weren't in sync with this one. EQ, he's gonna get taken down by Foxy. He's going big on this one in mini gnar. Or no, not nearly. That's gonna be just enough to finish the Nexus. It's ROCCAT, no minions required. They're gonna take it out. 39 minutes, 2-0.